Okay, folks, welcome. This is the opening of the Clark County Art Committee meeting for March 11th, 2025. First order of business is a call to order and a roll call. Could the board members please respond to the roll call?
Member Jeff Fulmer, present.
Ken Ruffin, present.
Alexia Chen, present.
We could hear you, Mary.
Sorry, I was muted. I am present.
Awesome. We do have a few board members that are missing today. Alfredo is excused. Jerry Sheffick is excused. Heather Harmon will be coming on it. Okay, we're going to close agenda item 1, go to agenda item 2, that is open for public comment. And we do not see anyone online for public comment. Tammy, I'm going to ask you through this meeting if you could watch the chat for me. And we do have somebody in present. Do you want to make public comment? It'd have to be about the agenda. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to close public comment and go over to approval of the agenda for March 11th. I do want to note we're going to skip agenda item number 5. That did have a typo. We'll put it on to the next meeting as a for possible action. But last month you had already reviewed those values and we want to get it there for approval. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda.
Excellent.
I'll second.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Seeing none, motion has been passed. Moving on to agenda item number 4, approval of minutes for February 11th, 2025 for possible action.
I'll move that we approve our February 11th meeting minutes.
Thank you, Jeff.
I will second.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, motion carries. Let's hear it for ayes. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. Any nays? Hearing none, now the motion is carried forward. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna skip 5 per our conversation. They are in your packets if you did want to review them for next month. Still could make any changes next month and then hopefully vote those in. And we're going to open up agenda item number 6. This is budget presentations. This is not an action item. We will be going a little bit out of order on this. So we're going to start with Red Rock Legacy. And then we have a guest speaker for temporary play art. And then we'll round off if Eileen's with us, talking about having her present on ZAP 19 and 20. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do was just remind the board members of how we get new projects and kind of what that approval process is. So you're looking at this, any potential project can come from anyone, really. That gets brought to the public arts staff, and I'm reviewing for project feasibility. And so I'm going to reach out to different stakeholders that might be involved in that project. And then I kind of start my marching orders of departments that go through. So Parks and Rec administration does need approval. If it's a real property management item, it's going to go through them as well. Comprehensive planning, depending on where that public art piece is, we may need comprehensive planning to give us those specs, or they may tell us some additional items that we would have to follow if we approve the project. Public Works, if it's a Public Works item, NDOT, if it's NDOT. And then we're also developing kind of a recommended budget and scope for the art committee. Then we come into what we're doing today, which is a staff presentation to the art committee, just pitching these projects to you. Within these pitches, you as the art committee are free to discuss what you like to discuss, think about these projects, send staff to maybe tweak them. We did that in the past as well. And then in April, we're going to come to you with the final budget and ask for you to solidify whatever that budget looks like for all of the projects. From there, it does go to the Clark County Commissioners. They have final approval of the arts plan and of these projects. Okay, so I'm going to start with item number 1 is Red Rock Legacy Trail Cyclist Monument. So this is a District F. It's to create a public art piece that honors lost cyclists to be placed at the Legacy Trail parking lot and trailhead. Staff have proposed possibly $200,000 allocated to the sculpture. This would be a sculpture. It's not, it is a monument. It's not a memorial type item. You see the listed stakeholders there. We have District F, Public Works, BLM, FHWA, NDOT, the cycle community leaders, and county management through long-range planning. The trailhead parking lot is in Summerlin. So that is up off that Charleston, kind of going out towards Red Rock, right, from the Charleston side. So this Legacy Trail is, as far as the trail goes and the parking lot goes, their plans are already established and they're ready. Public Works is ready to get going on that project. So we don't have, other than knowing that it would be someplace within the parking lot, we don't have a specific place as of yet. And I think the assumption is that obviously this parking lot could be completed and we just have a space for us of where we would build this project. So the background on Legacy Trail is that it was originally conceived by the prominent, when the prominent cyclist Don had been killed by the 18-wheeler. I think all of us that live in Las Vegas heard of that tragedy when, so many bicyclists were hit during that experience. And it happens too often in our community to not do this Legacy Trail And specifically with the public art piece, I think that it's an opportunity to not only honor lost cyclists, but really to do some education on around bicycle safety, right? So making people aware that this is a concern. People need to be more diligent when they're driving throughout our community. That is this piece. I don't know if you all want to talk about each one or if you want us to just run through them and then talk about it at the end. Hearing nothing, I'm going to move on to Nicholas and let him talk about his company and what the proposal is. Nicholas, do you need me to let you present?
Yeah, that'd be great if you don't mind. And also, for whatever reason, it doesn't let me open my camera.
Okay. See if it'll let you open your camera now.
No, it doesn't work. It's still red.
Well, at least hopefully you can share your screen now. It says that we've
Yeah.
made you the presenter.
Well, I promise you guys are not missing much by not seeing my face, but that would have been great. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to take more of your time. Let me just share my screen. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to share my screen, share screen. It's not working. It won't be long. It's not letting me share.
Do you want to email it to me and we'll have Eileen do her proposal while we're waiting for the email to come up?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you, Nikki. So continuing ZAP, we will be going into our 19th ZAP, which will be in District E. We are looking to do the usual 6 boxes along Nellis and the Boulder Highway area. As usual, we do need the $1,200 per box and a $1,200 contingency on top of that, which the budget equals to $8,000 altogether. And then for the ZAP 20th, this is actually going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary for the ZAP project. We would like to celebrate that by doing the project on Sunset Park, which is perfect because this is District G. They are up next on our list. So what we'd like to do this time around is we're going to do another special edition type of ZAP, which we will open it to all levels of artists. With the boxes as well, it will be all kinds of boxes, not just the usual public works. The budget will also be different, just like very similar to Searchlight and to the stadium one. We don't have exact measurements yet, so we don't have an exact budget, but we're looking to do under the 26 boxes that we identified.
And we will have, before next meeting, we'll have those measurements. Obviously, we have to have some. And then, Nick, I haven't seen your email come through yet.
That's weird. I sent it.
you had it in some type of Dropbox, maybe we can do it through the chat.
No, this is where you should have it. It's
I got it.
perfect.
All
Promise
right,
they're
let me
easy
get
to
it
work
pulled
with,
up
man.
and then you'll just have to cue me.
Yeah.
Where you want me to hit enter and we're good to go.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for giving me the time, and I appreciate that. I'm sorry for all this craziness, but we're gonna get there. So we're Lamont Studio. We are originally Montreal-based studio. That being said, nowadays we operate and run our business from Austin, Texas. We work with about 185 different cities and counties across America as of last year. We have been in business for 14 years. We're very, very big into sustainability and green social issues and stuff like that. So what we like to say is that we do functional art. So everything we do is designed to be tempered with and played with and really create and design an experience that's unique to everyone that's interacting with it. You can go to the next page. Next one too. Just perfect. Le Monde means the world in French, but most importantly for us, it means the people. And we kind of believe that everyone growing up is trying to be older faster and as quick as they can, and when they get older, they want to be kids again. And that's kind of what we're seeing with what we're doing. Everything that we do is very easy to understand. It's designed to be playful. So a lot of the time we're going to be using cranks or pedals or movement detectors. And we're going to create different type of motion, whether it's sound, music, lights, misters in the summer to cool down the space, etc. And all of our work is done, it's completely off-grid. So we invested about $3.5 million in the last 2 years, creating different energy, system that will, create electricity. So, for example, when you turn a crank, you turn the crank for 20 seconds, you get 8 to 10 minutes of electricity. So it's going to do different paper motions. If you go to the next one again. Perfect. So an example of our work is the Big Apple here. So we work with Hudson Aerosol Kitchen in New York, and the concept that they came to us for was, hey guys, people are walking through our plaza, but they're never stopping. People are seeing the building, but they don't really pay attention to what it is. So what we did is we created that giant apple that can actually sit 18 people. It's very big, but the idea with it was to make sure that people were engaging to each other. So the way it's designed is always going to be big enough that you're going to feel like there's space for you inside of it. But when you sit in it, you're always going to be facing people you don't know. So the idea was to engage people, to get them to chat. So from there, basically what we're proposing to you guys today is we do as much as permanent project that we do temporary project. We're quite famous for a temporary project. Those are some examples of them. And what we are doing with multiple communities across the country is we are offering them the opportunity to get 8 of our pieces throughout the year. Each piece is staying for 6 weeks. Basically we'll rotate those pieces. Obviously it's a massive cost saving to go and apply it this way. But it's a really good way for us to be able to bring you guys, engage the community, and go to different locations throughout the community and really get them something really cool and really surprise them. So some example of our work, this is the Iceberg Trail. It was just launched in Chicago, where we work with the city of Chicago on the very same project that I'm pitching you today, where there's 6 different icebergs. If you go to the next slide. And when you turn the crank with them, they start lighting up. They play music and they start interacting between one and the other, which is really, really cool. They're all off grid. What's really fun about this project and all the other projects I'm going to present to you is that we always team up with local artists on them. So the music, we always pick local musicians that we work with. When we do projections, we always pick local visual artists to do those projections. When we do branding, we always work with locals. So we really see ourselves as a modular platform to really, engage the community itself. If you go to the next one, this is Harmonies. So those are go to the next one again. Those are 10 giant musical instruments. There's a guitar, there's a slide, there's a mic, there's a banjo. Again, they're working with cranks, but they all have their own little torque. So, you know, some of them rotate, some of them have a slide, etc. Those are really, really cool, and they're really nice as an art piece, but also a drive back to retail. So we were able to set them up to different location, create that, you know, cultural trail to a city, and get people to, you know, discover new places. We originally created this project for the city of Houston. And while we were running this project during 3 months, they saw an increase in sales in their theaters throughout the city by 83%. And after a year, the sales are still at 23%, mostly in theaters that were not known, that we drove people to know because of this program. So again, we didn't do that for commercialization, but you know, it's great to see that art can bring, you know, monetization at the end of the day and help the community itself. You can go to the next one. There's a photo of the actual guitar slide. So there's a slide in the middle. Next one, Light Lane, one of my favorite projects. So those are 10 different bikes that when you pedal, they do custom light projections. They've been all over the world. They've been to 26 countries in the States. We had them last year in Phoenix for 4 weeks, and we have 1.8 million users in 4 weeks. So they do really, really, really well. So they're a really fun program. And again, we can customize the music, customize the actual projection itself to make sure they fit your community, do well. And the next one, that's the Taylor Swift project. Not that I'm a big Swiftie, but we just did that collaboration with the city of Vancouver. And so again, you know, we're doing a lot of those projects with different groups, and then we add them to our inventory that we can rotate. So what we do normally is we work with you guys, and every 2-3 months we show you guys, you know, our choice between 6, 7, 8 different pieces that we have, and then we add them to the calendar, and we make sure that they're site specific and they're relevant to where they're going. But that project we started up in Vancouver, and now it's going to Louisville as we speak. But we had 30,000 people waiting in line the day we started up, so that was a little crazy. We have 4 million users in 6 days. So which is completely insane. I'm not a Swiftie, but you know, it's fun. It was working well, so people love it. And that's projects. The last one I'm going to show you guys. I can go on and on and on, but you know, you get a good sample of what we do. So Vivacity is something that I think would do extremely well in Clarks County. So this project is all around climate change. So it's different type of structures that we adapt to the local environment that we go to. So it goes from a palm tree to a boreal forest when we went up north. But, you know, I see cactus and neon flamingos and a lot of fun stuff that we could do with you guys. But the fun thing is that when people get close to it, there's a mist that comes out. It's only using 0.05% of the normal mister would use. And it cools down the plaza. And then they do different type of light shows at night when people get close to it. So again, it's a really, really fun piece. So the idea with this program is that we would bring 8 different pieces through 12 months to different locations to you guys. All those pieces would be 100% insured by us. We would provide all engineering by us. We would do all the transportation, all the install, everything would be done by us. So there's nothing expected by you guys other than, you know, helping us find the right location for them, and you know, connecting us to community people if we need to, and yeah, hopefully people enjoy it.
Looks like Jeff has his hand raised. Yes, Jeff?
Thank you. My question was then about the numbering specifically. You said 8 pieces, each for 6 weeks. But a lot of your work seemed to have multiple components. So like the
Yes.
Swiftie one had 4 pieces, you had several icebergs. When you say 8 pieces, are you saying icebergs for 6 weeks and then Swiftie for 6 weeks, and then, or are you saying 8 icebergs for 6 weeks?
No. I mean 8 of the projects. So some project might have 3 pieces together, other project might have 10. So it's really 8 packs or 8 sets.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Big clarification.
And then would we choose those, the projects?
Yes.
Or, I mean, Clark County would choose the projects from a catalog, and you said you had how many different different projects for them to choose from?
Right now, we have currently 36 of them that's touring, and we're building on average 4 to 6 new ones every month. The new bills that we build is cities that come to us, or bids or BIAs or any parks group that come to us and they're like, hey, we would love to do that idea, but we don't have the budget to own it. And we don't want it permanent. So the way that we work normally is like, hey, well, if we like the idea, we're going to charge them less and we're going to keep it and add it to our catalog and bring it to groups like you guys all across the country. So every few months, we would send you a list of the updated catalog with, well, those pieces are available for that time, those pieces are available for that time. And you normally have a choice between 4 to 8 pieces at all time. And obviously, if there's something in the catalog that you really want, we're going to make sure that you get it through the year. We also, I didn't show you guys that, but we also have a very large inventory for the holidays. We have a very large inventory for the fall season, Halloween, etc. So a lot of the time, so currently on the 12 cities that we would do this program, we obviously during Christmas, they want, a Christmas exhibit, and we give them a bunch of inventories. We have like sled that would light up when you turn an handle, that we have giant nutcracker that dents with different levers and stuff like that. So again, we're always happy to build new stuff.
I have a question. You mentioned that you would take care of the engineering and the insurance, so
Yes.
also permitting?
Yeah, so normally the way it works with the other groups that we work with is we're not allowed to apply for the permit ourselves, but we're allowed to give you guys all the paperwork and all the drawings and everything you need for it. So we normally collaborate very closely with the group in charge to make sure that they get everything they need to get the permit approval. And that's what we do. So right now we collaborate with the city of Henderson. We're bringing 2 of our pieces there for April, and that's how we're proceeding as we speak. So we are providing them packages of everything they need, and we even jump on calls with them when anyone evaluating the permits need more stuff.
Thank you.
And we do have Patrick online. I'd love to take a moment and introduce him.
Sorry, Mickey, I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm having trouble with my audio. I'm trying to fix that right now.
We definitely can hear you.
Okay, and I can hear you now, so.
So yes, so I just want to have you come say hello to the committee.
Hi, everybody. My name is Patrick Almeida. I'm the acting director with the Parks and Recreation Department, and I appreciate the invitation to be here today.
And Patrick, right now we are going over a couple of those projects, and I know you wanted to chime in and give your support for a few of those.
Yeah, so it's not just my support, but we met with Commissioner Justin Jones regarding the bike memorial. He is a big proponent and supporter of that art project. We'd like that to be considered, and hopefully can bring that to fruition. It's an important monument and art piece that would be significant on the west side of town, headed out towards Red Rock. Additionally, Mickey did an excellent presentation with our long-range planning, which is a lot of county management in the room on the LaMonde. And they were very excited, intrigued, and I have not seen that type of excitement from our county management staff in a long time, especially when it comes to public art. So those 2 projects are near and dear to us, and I know we have the support of both county management and Commissioner Jones regarding those 2 projects. So I know when you guys have to sit down and consider these, I just wanted to make a push that I think these 2 projects are important and might open up some additional opportunities through the county and through county management if we can see these projects to fruition.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, so at this time, since we've quickly went through all four projects, I'm gonna shut it down to the art committee to go ahead and discuss, and I can flip back and forth on these different slides. And I think maybe if you have more questions for Nicholas, maybe we could hit on, we can excuse him if you don't have any other questions.
I just had a follow-up about the April project in the city of Henderson. Be great to be able to go out and see that. And so I don't know if Nicholas has information about what project they'll be sharing there and the location of that.
Yes. So we have the two projects that we're bringing in Anderson are around the water festival. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the park. I will make sure I send it to you guys by email after this call. But they're going to be set up from April 14. We're going to start by bringing harmonies. We're going to be bringing 6 of our 10 pieces. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough space for us to bring all of them. And they're going to be specially wrapped around the Shakespeare theme. So we're going to collaborate with 6 different musical groups from Anderson that are going to do old tracks, which is going to be really, really cool. And then later in early May, we're going to be bringing Vivacity. So we're going to bring our climate change trees. We're currently in co-design with the groups at the city of Anderson to make sure that we find the correct team for it. But they're misters. So I'll send you guys more details by email. I would love to see you guys there.
Thank you, Nicholas.
So the one thing, unfortunately, is with our timeline, the hit that May budget meeting, our meeting's April 8th. Now,
Right.
we have in the past, we have shuffled that date just a little bit. But I'm hoping we can just get it through on the 8th.
Yeah, I'll be sharing another presentation with our full catalog to Mickey, and if Mickey, you want to share with your members, that would give them a more example of our work and the vast scheme. So today, obviously, showed you guys a lot of things around the green space and pedals and cranks and stuff like that. But we have a lot of other stuff that are sport related. For example, like we just did the spring training in Mesa and stuff like that are really, really cool and that are using moving detectors or there's just simple benches that have really fun, colorful shapes and stuff like that. So again, this project is very successful when we bring the community a mix of different stuff. And that's what I really like about this.
Great, thank you. Is there any other questions for Nicholas? All right, seeing none, thank you, Nicholas. We really appreciate you presenting and we'll be in touch.
Thanks so much for your time. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.
Right. So do you want to start off from the top or you want to jump in on one in any particular as far as board members go?
Cut to the chase. What's our budget? I mean,
yeah, so
Patrick said that you guys are supporting the $200,000 cyclist monument, $100,000 the mode.
yes,
That's 97.3% of the proposed budget here.
yes,
And
What-
everybody loves Zap. So
yes.
it
So
sounds
what
like
is
we
that
need more
budget?
money.
Yeah. So when we met with finance, I think they were comfortable for around $300,000. So we're sitting at 300 with Le Monde and with the cyclist monument. What I think we'll need to do is adjust the cyclist monument slightly in order to at least fund SAP 19. I am a little concerned with SAP 20 because while I love it and it would be cool to do it in our 20th year, that's a lot of boxes. And we saw that with Searchlight, that skyrocketed the price, right? So we went from doing our public works utilities, which is $1,200 a box, to something more like $26,000 for that project. So I don't know if we're going to be able to sneak in SAP 20, but Eileen is still going to try to do that work, try to get those measurements, so that if magically we do find some extra funding, or if we come to finance and say, this is the total of what we want to spend, maybe we can ink out all 4 projects.
And the return on investment and the community's love of the ZAP project seems like we've got to do that 20th anniversary. To me, the Sunset Park, it really could use some love. We've been making promises for signage and different things in Sunset Park for a while and haven't been able to deliver that.
Yep. Okay, that sounds good. Pat and I have our work to do with finance. He's shaking his head yes. Thank you, Pat. Is there anything else that you need me to go back and tweak?
I would like to, be really thoughtful about the placement of the Le Monde works and how we can get the community to places that maybe they haven't been and to experience art in a context that they haven't seen it before. I just want to be really thoughtful with that process.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We know, we have 7 commissioners, 7 districts. So we know that the ask will probably be 1 project per district. And then tying in that economic development, we know that many different commissioners are working on major economic development projects. In particular, like Commissioner Jones just talked about it in his ZAP 17 dedication, where he has a major project going on in Spring Valley. So that might be a great candidate place to put that. Simultaneously, though, we never know what's going to happen. I also know that Jones and Segerbloom are also working on a project that is near a middle school where they're just rampant with gangs, and the county is coming together with like a bunch of different groups to try to intervene and trying to uplift that neighborhood and get the kids away from gangs. And one of the things that I've seen Le Monde present probably now, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 times. And one of the things he talks about is one of the things Nicholas has talked about is that Big Apple, and how in New York they didn't want to take it to Queens. So they were like, not Le Monde, but the city. They were concerned. The city officials said, oh no, it's going to get destroyed. It's going to do this. But what they found, and what was pleasantly surprising for the city, was people in Queens embraced it. They loved it. They didn't tag it up. They utilized it. And so there are some powerful things there too. So not to mention county also has a jurisdiction, like we have Laughlin. We have North County. So we have some significant areas where, you know, we would, if this is funded and it moves forward, we're gonna have some real big considerations to talk with those commissioners about and talk with some of the departments about what functionally that is.
I really like what you're saying there, engaging those other communities like Laughlin. I was just kind of afraid they would go in front of a rec center, and that could be. I think that might minimize the impact. So, my other thing was I wasn't super excited about, and maybe if I saw the work, I would get behind it more, but about Christmas themed. It seems less like art and more like decoration. I mean, I love the winter holidays, but I would like to focus more on art than decoration. And likewise with the cyclist monument, I want to be careful that it's not a memorial. I want it to be a work of art. $200,000 is already kind of small for a significant sculpture. So I want to be careful there too.
Yeah, one of the things that we might look at with that project is recycled materials as well. So utilizing, I looked around at a lot of bike park items, and you'll see later in the presentation one for the Southwest Ridge Bike Park. So because we also have that project going on, I reached out to one of Commissioner Jones's staff members, and he's reached out to Burning Man to see, can we get all of those recycled bikes that are left? A good portion of them go out to different cities and are given to people that need bikes, but there's a lot of bikes that are broken. So can we collect all those bike parts to give to this to the sculpturists so that they could create, utilizing some of that might save some costs. We've heard from Jeff.
A lot. I'll mute.
I heard I saw head shaking, but it would be great to hear from the committee members.
I'll just say the city, Lamont has approached the city of Las Vegas a few times with these projects, and it's never quite worked out just with locations and funding. This seems a little bit more what they're proposing seems a little bit more thought out than what they had approached us with in the past. Aside from location, I think that is really the key. But I think that just in talking with them, it does seem like these, they're more, I would say, like design based than like artist focused, but the community does seem to really enjoy these pieces. So I think this could be a great way to really like maximize enjoyment, pending the correct location.
And I guess I think, well, location, yes, but also during the summer when it's 300 degrees out, is that going to affect anything? And if and when something breaks, would the county or would they come in from Texas to repair, or what would be the situation then?
They come in They are to repair. And in our contract, we'll have to have some type of language that gives a time frame for that repair. They definitely can't sit for 6 weeks unusable.
Right.
I remember asking him, I can't remember fully. I do remember asking him that very question. They definitely take care of maintenance. But I want to say they even contract with fabricators within the city on some stuff to ensure that it gets fixed in a timely manner.
I don't have much to add. I think we all were thinking about the location question and what would be appropriate. I think the weather is a very good thought. You know, people are not gonna be outdoor often in the heat, so I don't know if the timing of the project rollout is also part of the plan that we will work on, besides location. But I think it seems like a great idea, and seems like a reasonable budget to get this many projects for the public to enjoy.
The other good thing about it is just getting those numbers. So I think that's kind of important to see, like, who's interacting with these things. And what is that? If there's a fear in a neighborhood to bring in art, is a prime way to be able to help move that along, right? To say like, no, this was fine. We're doing this.
Yeah, one thing is there any thought about community outreach and engagement on this before the projects are selected?
Possibly. I think it's going to depend on those commission districts and what's going on there. But of course, each commission district actually has town boards. I think it's going to depend on per district, though. The commissioners have a really good pulse on their community and what's going on in their communities. So I think it's a little bit more about those nuanced conversations to see where, where they go. But they're very involved, right? They know, and they hear from the citizens. They are the elected official to represent the citizens in their districts. And then they have newsletters. They have quite a few things. So the ones that can or willing, we would love to, sure. We can offer that within our office, those types of surveys, and run it through our office, but the commissioner releases it out.
I think being intentional about location would take into account the community. And if it's something that we're trying to focus on, helping to have the youth choose, make a better choice than gang activity, the artwork should support that. The location should support that. But I think that we can also be intentional if we find a way to, here we have bicycles. That probably wouldn't be great in Las Vegas in July and August, being physically active out there on a bicycle, but maybe there's somewhere at Mount Charleston for that type of year, and take some artwork there when it's a little bit more pleasant. There, I think there's lots of potential. It's just kind of mapping out all those decisions.
100%.
I mean, the other concern with any temporary work is if we're kind of done with our investment after a year. It doesn't continue on for many years. The ZAP project, we're investing, $8,000, but probably going to be there 5-6 years. It's a longer term investment. A public sculpture, hopefully it'll be there 20 years or more.
That brings up a good point. Is the idea behind this more, like Mary said, these are not, it's farther away from art, more design, interactive piece. Is the idea to test out if that's something that we would like to have in our permanent collection using this opportunity? Because I know there are a lot of different studios out there that does this kind of work. And I saw one in a conference where they go to communities and they do extensive outreach with the community, and then through that process create an interactive piece that end up living in the place and kind of changing how people interact with their space. So, and I don't know what kind of budget they run in, but I don't know if that's part of the intention, is to see if people like this experience, that it does, activate spaces within Clark County.
I think it's multifaceted. I think that's one of them. I think it's also to get some pieces out in our community that from a company that is already around and doing such a thing, so we can show some of these pieces to the powers that be that fund this program, right? It could engage people. We're seeing clicks on who's touching those, what times a day are they touching them? And then with all of this economic development projects that are going on, I think that it can greatly help the community engagement aspect of what economic development is doing. It could draw people to an area, and then the county people or their vendors that they've hired can go and survey people. And I think it shows to county management that public art can be versatile. It doesn't merely need to be a mural or a sculpture, or it could also show them just how powerful a mural or sculpture could be, because it builds a place, right? So it's nice to have it temporary, try it out. And I would love to see a temporary piece come in that was successful. We had that funding and, sat on it for basically 2 years, and we still don't have a piece, and we'll never have a piece. Right? So that was that piece with Fired Up Management. So I think that's part of it too, is actually see a successful large scale temporary public art come through our community. And this is a very easy way of doing it. Past finding those locations, it's pretty hands off from the staff's point of view.
One more question on the ZAP 20. Even though we don't know if we're able to fund it at this point, what we'll be doing that makes it special celebration for the anniversary?
So Eileen suggested putting together just a bit. Public art can, host people to come out, walk the event. We can have artist tables, that type of stuff.
Almost like
don't really-
a ZAP gallery opening, but in the park.
Yeah. maybe some live painting, who knows?
That sounds fun.
Yeah, we haven't talked to special events yet, but there are roommates in the trailer, so we're help you. Something low dollar, we're not trying to get crazy here. Do a dedication. Very few of our zaps are really that walkable. You're talking about miles and miles of walking. So it's neat to get to do in special to get to do Sunset Park. I think the other part of Sunset Park that's fun is ZAP programs started at Winchester when the arts art program. It's really the conception of county's public art, right? And it helped to get this program. So we also thought it was fitting to hit that 20-year mark sitting at Sunset Park where public art is housed now. Okay, well, see no other discussion. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna close agenda item number 6. Thank you, Pat, so much for being here. Appreciate you. And we're gonna open up our staff report. Okay, so we have open calls. We have a gallery exhibit call with the land. That's open. Sorry, that is open with deadline entry May 4th. We have Wetlands Art Day. It's a call for plein air artists at the Wetlands Park. That is due March 22nd. I'm sorry, that event is due March 22nd. I am not for sure when that call is due. And then, as usual, we have that call for musicians list. If that other project is approved, then I expect that we could utilize this musicians list to gather that music. Okay, and for Poet Laureate, last time we saw Miss Avey was at the Black History Month exhibit, Mother's Roots. But as you can see, Miss Avey is everywhere. She's doing a great job in her role as Poet Laureate. She does have CCTV filming that she's been doing. So she's been doing like back-to-back filming, and then we're releasing them monthly. So we're going to start trying to get a hold of those videos and posting it on our socials. This picture here is the 3 poets that did their poetry at Mother's Roots, and Miss Avey and Commissioner. And before we move on, for our poetry program, we have hired a new poetry coordinator and hoping to see if Jesus will pop on every once in a while and do this report. We're glad to have him.
Full scope this month, we have Chloe Churko. She is the CEO and a business manager for the Pink Noise Management. She will be speaking about business management for artists and musicians, and also how to prepare your documents for tax season. This event will be online as usual through WebEx. Our link is right there. It will be for Tuesday, March 18th at 3 p.m.
Stephanie here. So for the youth temporary public art program, we have 2 video art workshops coming up from David Lample. These will be at Hollywood and Desert Breeze. These will be happening next week. Last week we had cardboard painting with Vision. He will create an installation with the children's artwork on the boxes. He just did that one at Whitney, and he'll do another one at Paradise. And then we have some other ones coming up with Heidi Kaye. She's doing mask making at Winchester. We have Rachel Braley doing zine workshops at both Wetlands at Silverado Ranch. Rachel will actually do her activity on Wetlands Art Day. And then Heidi Kaye will be doing her workshops at Winchester and Spirit Mountain. For our fall cohort, the artists down here under exhibits, they are planning to deinstall at their last location, and our very last one is by Rebecca Goodman at Helen Meyer. At Pearson Gallery, today, David Lample, who is also in the Youth Temporary Public Art Program, has a collage workshop happening right now. And according to Eventbrite, his workshop sold out. So that means 15 seats were taken. We'll see what those numbers look like next month. And to follow, he has a reception next week on Thursday, March 20th. There will be light refreshments and music. For the Rotunda Gallery, we just had the Mother's Roots reception, and the exhibit closes this Thursday, and we will be installing, he installed last Friday, and we will be installing Empowered Women of Clark County, juried by Fawn Douglas. We will also feature historian Laura Ferguson and the Clark County Museum. So there will be a historical exhibit next to the artwork. That reception is next week. It's an opening reception, March 27th on Thursday from 6 to 8. And we will have a performance by Kiana Oliver.
I think, correction, that's in two Thursdays.
And 2 Thursdays, you're right. Next week on the 20th from 5:30 to 7:30, we will have the reception for Big Softy, and it's juried by multidisciplinary artist Adriana Chavez. The artworks in the exhibit are made with soft materials such as felt, yarn, and various fabrics with soft and plushy textures. Come through Winchester Dondero Cultural Center next week. There'll be light refreshments as well. So for marketing, we're going to look at Facebook and Instagram. Facebook engagement and Instagram is down from last month, possibly because of us, or maybe because of the short month of February. However, we still are getting many followers on both platforms. Public marketing requests are made by the Public Arts Office staff and completed by our graphics coordinator, Sarissa Lopez. These requests include all graphics for calls, events, workshops, social media posts, vectorizing logos, and taking photos of events. artworks, including public art. On the left, you'll see how many requests were made by staff and how many were completed by Sarissa. Right here on the right, that's the top content based on interactions via Instagram. And at the bottom, those are the cities that we're reaching through Facebook. And then as far as double scoop ads, our first PO ended in November. And these are regarding banner ads on their website. And so far, we're getting about 48 clicks. And we also had some advertising of our calls, our events, our workshops in the January and February issue of Black Image. It's distributed through libraries, some selected grocery stores, and you can also find them at the Clark County Government Center. We hope to sign on with them next fiscal year. Right now, we are looking at our email list for both public art events and public art calls. Numbers are down compared to February. However, our email list did go up, or the amount of people who signed up did go up. And then where you see top links, those are the links that subscribers are clicking within the newsletter.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so we're on to our community engagement, and start with this one. So we do have a PO approved with with Michelle Quinn, and she is looking forward to receiving that first payment. She's set to interview dropping her name, I'm so sorry. She's set to interview the artist that is represented here, and thank you, Mylan. And then she's reaching out to a few other artists for setting up those interviews. So we're looking forward to seeing this project wrap up in June 30th. Women's History call for proposal. So we have both the graphic artist and the historian on board. They have been working diligently to prepare for the exhibit, and we did get contacted today that those panels are printed from our print shop and will be delivered to the Government Center on Thursday, so staff can install that exhibit. The website will be then thereafter worked on, and this project will wrap up in June as well.
Pearson History, District D, we have hired Clay T. White, the inaugural director of the Oral History and Research Center for UNLV, to create timeline language for each of the 21 pillars in the Pearson Pillar Mural Project. We will use this text to create print materials such as a poster to serve as an educational reference about the historical context on each pillar.
For the next empowerment art at the Walnut Recreation Center, we are currently getting the jury to meet. We are trying to put together a meeting and schedule it. We're hoping to have that happen for the 3rd week of March, and right after the jury meeting, we should be able to open the art call.
And sorry, we do have a typo here. There would be no estimated expense at this time. Call is not out. We'll correct that for your records. Desert Breeze mural, the Connex box, we do have a selected artist. And I did see, check real fast. I believe this may be Heather Harmon. Heather, I'm gonna make you a panelist so that you could speak. Sorry about that. And then if our selected artist is online and you want to say something, please raise your hand and we'll unmute you. But while we're waiting for that, we will go over that. So the Desert Breeze mural, as we said, there is a selected artist. We are working on the purchase order right now, and I believe that artist is looking forward to starting their work on their project brief and fleshing out what their community engagement is going to be. Okay. Wetlands Park, their temporary outdoor installation haven is to be installed here in just a couple days. Please make sure you go out and check out this exhibit. It happens every year. They may tweak it a little bit, but when you go out to wetlands, look for the signage or go up to the building. They'll direct you where that is. And I do believe that on yes, so March 15th is a Saturday, and I do believe that they asked the artists to have it installed by that day, and that on that day specifically, when you walk around and visit the art, you will run into the artists to be able to talk to them about their art. They also utilize some of our funding for their artist in residency program. And we are excited to let you know that Megan Heers is this year's resident. Megan is a public arts supervisor for City of Henderson and a visual artist. So we're looking forward to seeing what she'll do with that residency. Okay, as far as conservation goes, not much. While Brett has been working on conservation, I don't think there's too big of changes that have happened this month. Of course, we're always seeing a good chunk of change be utilized per month through that ZAP monthly maintenance. We did remove 47 tags that were recorded and removed by Guerrilla Property, and we're sitting at 55,000 out of that 89,000. I do think over the next month I need to look at that and maybe shuffle some line items. He is getting dangerously close to eliminating the one item, the funded item of removing tags. So, but obviously there's plenty of funding left over that just needs that shuffle. Reach, Brett did finish a draft for the Reach, kind of going over what the artists are asking for and what the Public Arts Office could do, or what we're also asking for. And we've sent that document to Vicki as the artist's team leader, and we are waiting for a response. And as you saw last month, the sandblasting was completed. That is $25,000. However, we have not paid that bill yet. hopefully this week it gets processed, and then we will close out this project. Okay, and then we're on to our major public art.
So for the Stadium District mural, we are thinking of possibly using this mural for the America 250 celebration. The America 250 celebration is the 250 celebration for America's independence, which will happen in, I believe, July of 2026. So we are hoping to use that theme for this mural.
And we'd love to get thoughts on that today. I don't know if art committee members want to chime in now or wait till the end of the presentation. I'm going to say wait till the end of the presentation.
For ZAP 18 and Searchlight, we are currently scheduling our jurors to have our meeting, which will hopefully happen in the next couple of weeks. And then right after the jury meeting, we will be able to open the call right away. So we're hoping to have this call open by the end of this month.
So the Juvenile Justice Service mural, they're still in progress of building out the design of this building and of the park renovations. And so we've been in discussions with them. They are definitely going to keep areas for a mural, and we're just waiting for that design to come to a fruition. The family courthouse mural, I apologize for the blurry picture, but the awarded artist is Jerry Mesco, and this is one image of one design on one side, right? So we do have another mural that flanks the other side. It's similar in colors, but it just has a little bit different shape to it. Jerry has received his first payment, and hopefully in the next couple weeks he'll be scheduling to start painting. And he believes 3 weeks of painting will be all he needs to have a completed project. Then we'll start working towards a dedication.
For the Pearson Pillar mural project, I want to highlight the short documentary. Zachary Freed and his production team, Arecibo Films, has gone above and beyond for a 15-minute short film. Not only has he documented the process, but he has done extensive research about Doc Pearson and the theme of mentorship to fulfill the project's theme of uplifting historic legacy. Mike Norris, the muralist mentor, and Mike Norris has a mentor who is also his assistant. His name is Mohammed Mubarak, and he does paintings of boxers. He's a big boxing fan, and he has some of his work at the MGM Grand. Zachary has made the connection with mentorship within the Pearson Community Center and the surrounding areas just by showing up to NAACP meetings. He's visited the Harrison House and has done interviews with Mike there, and so much more. As far as his research, he was able to finally find a photo of Maggie Pearson, who was a school counselor at Rancho High School. He found her photo in the yearbook, and also a 22-second clip of Pearson, Doc Pearson, at a commission meeting that we now call the the Las Vegas City Council. And yeah, he's done a lot of great work. Mike is working on his next mood. He's done about two moods. So he's on his third mood today. So if you go to the Pearson Community Center, you'll see some exciting stuff going on.
Okay, and the Walnut Recreational Center playground mural. This one, so Homero was having a little bit of struggle with the jury members getting a hold of them. So he is reaching out by phone call to everyone to try to get them all on the same page. You know, it's a pretty straightforward project. We're already in the midst of Hollywood, and so we'd love for jury members to really just sit down, get together, get that meeting scheduled so that we could release this call. We're hoping to release it next month. And then Hollywood Recreation Center mural. So the call closed. I believe there was 38 applicants. So it was a great response. How the review process goes now is staff review, making sure that the application is complete. If an application isn't complete, then unfortunately that artist is rejected or that application is rejected. Those artists do not find out at that time. They get moved over to, you know, a decline section, and at the end of the project, we'll be emailing all of the artists and letting them know that they hadn't been accepted. But we also offer one-on-ones to kind of go over their applications and see how they could do those improvements. From staff review, then it gets kicked over to our evaluators. Their first round they're doing is they're going to acknowledge conflict of interest for each applicant. And then if there is no conflict of interest, or if that conflict of interest is just that you know the person, we allow an evaluator to continue on, just acknowledge that they do know them and they can evaluate. That evaluation is just a simple yes, maybe no. And the question to those evaluators is, do you want to see a full review of this person's application? So it is a way to shrink down that pool of artists down to the artists that those evaluators are resonating with. That way we ensure that our evaluators do not have fatigue, and that they're going to spend quality time on the applications that are left. So they will, we don't know how many applications they will review at that time, but it'll be something more than the 3 that we're paying for design. So it's just going to be a natural break in the scoring system, is how we pick how many people will move forward for that full review. And then Homero's also attempting to contract with a company that could do the community engagement. So we're hoping that we could get that paperwork resolved this week and be able to announce it next month. For Desert Breeze Special Events Area Sculpture, we did only get 1 quote back, and it was for $40,000. We have moved on with that person, and so the PO was approved today. So we're getting this project moving in the right direction now. And then Southwest Ridge Bicycle Skills Park sculpture. We do have a jury meeting set for March 13th. And we're excited to meet those evaluators. They're coming from the art world, but also the bicycle world. We're doing a mixture there on this project. And it would be great to see this RFQ get released in the next couple of months. Sunset Signature art piece. We did do, I did send the paperwork to purchasing. And so now we're in this phase of like a review period where purchasing will ask questions, public art staff respond, and we kind of go back and forth, just making sure that we're dialed in correctly on what we're asking our artists in that RFQ. And this is an old picture. So that sunset marquee is what was removed originally. And so that's what that expense is that you're seeing.
For the wetlands monument, the artist has been awarded and is waiting to be processed. The project brief is currently being edited and updated for our contract language and approvals. We will be moving on to phase 2 after this. For ZAP 16, we had our dedication yesterday. Thank you so much for attending, Ken and Jeff. We had a great discussion that was opened by Commissioner McCurdy. We spoke about public art in their district. We had the ZAP artists talk about their process and their experience during the project. And we had a lot of really great attendees that pitched into the conversation.
And that is it for our staff presentation. Do want to go back up to that for discussion. And is there any other discussion or questions from the committee?
I'm sorry, I had a speaker issue. One of my AirPods was going out. What specifically were you wanting to have feedback on the Stadium District mural? My apologies.
Yeah. So with that conversation of America celebrating their 250 year independence, thinking about what projects were already funded, when I saw that our budget was what our budget was for this year, I thought, well, what about shifting it to an RE funded project? And so this one resonated for me because of the location. It's right off of the 15. Many people are going to see it. It's right there at that stadium. And I think that the goals of this project could really hunker down on community and our uniqueness and all the multicultural people and communities that we have within Clark County, really kind of bringing it home, and that it's that it could be a strengthening piece for our community that holds a lot of connection, right? But we do want to hear from all of our stakeholders if we're shifting in that direction for a specific site. It is our due diligence to go to everyone from the commissioner to the stadium, to county management and to the art committee, and ensure that everyone feels comfortable with that move and that change.
Thank you again. Again, I apologize. That seems to make a lot of sense for this space. I think that added layer of concept might help make it more than just be a football stadium mural. I know that when we first selected this location, it was before the Super Bowl for that place. And I think as thinking of all of our projects that are in development, this one would lend itself most to that.
Is there any other committee members that would like to chime in? Okay, seeing none. Is there any other questions on any of the projects that you saw today?
Well, I have a question. The Stadium District mural, what's the timeline for that? But I guess, is it during the 250 year, July the 4th, or before or after?
I would say that I would like to see this project complete this fiscal year. So we're coming into FY26. And I would love to see it completed in FY26 as a response for or in front of that July date. Since our fiscal year ends June 30th.
And also, just to mention about the Pearson Pillars, of course, I was over there once before, ran into Congressman Harsford's staff. So they're very interested and want to get on board and know what's going on, why it's going on, and why they didn't know about it yet also. But they were very interested to the point where, oh well, maybe we can mic up Mike and get some other information on their own also for the growing project. So, but they're so it's really growing for the community also.
So Channel 4 during February's Black History Month, they did a wonderful recording, and we didn't even know about it. So we do have that. We can send it to with the notes, and we will certainly get that over to anyone that wants to see that video. It does a nice job of kind of highlighting the project, what's going on with it. And then of course with Zachary, it's an even bigger project and documentary. And once the project's all said and done, yeah, I imagine the dedication for this event as Stephanie's doing a great job. They're already talking about what that is going to look like for the mural itself, that dedication, and then also the secondary component is the documentary, and where is that going to be highlighted? That is, you know, a movie unveiling essentially that we're going to be doing. So it's pretty cool. And then you combine that with the efforts that we're putting into with Clay T. It's a very exciting program. I think people are going to consistently say they didn't know about it. We're trying to inform as many people as possible. But it almost sounds like, Stephanie, maybe we should do another press event, or like not a press event, but a press release might be a neat feature to make people aware of it a little bit more.
Yes, I agree.
Well, if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and close out that agenda item. Just going to do it this way. Maybe. Bless you all. Okay. Look, that last slide, sorry. Okay, so we're closing out agenda item number 7, and now we're going to open up agenda item number 8. This is identify emerging issues by the committee for future meetings. Comments made during this portion of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to the proposals for future agenda items, and any discussion shall be limited to whether such a proposed item shall be placed on the future agenda. No discussion regarding the substance of any proposed topic shall occur, and no action shall be taken.
I don't have any emerging issues at this time.
Okay, seeing no one. Seeing no other comments, we're going to go ahead and shut down agenda item number 8. We're going to move to agenda item 9, which is comments from the general public. Do you want to see? Okay. And then we do have one person online as well. Let me attempt to pull that up. If you are online and you would like to speak, now is the time to do it. Please use your raised hand feature, and we will unmute you. All right, seeing no raised hands, we're going to go ahead and shut down agenda item number 9. Agenda item number 10 is our next meeting date. So that is scheduled for Tuesday, April 8th at 3:30 p.m. That will be our budget meeting. So it's critical that we have as many people as in attendance as possible. And that's it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you all for being here. We really greatly appreciate you.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.